Welcome to Knicksfandom. This is an independent New York Knicks fan-based podcast, which was created by fans for fans. The show is hosted by Blackwell, Danny, and Flau. They'll discuss the issues surrounding the Knicks, the NBA, and various other sports-related topics. Join us. It's going to be a heck of a ride.
This or that, this or that, this or that, this or that. Who's the black sheep? What's the black sheep? You can get with this or you can get with that. What is going to be, Kawhi? Are you staying or are you going? Gentlemen, in today's show, we discuss the underwhelming recent NBA Finals of 2018. Our brief thoughts on the firing of former general manager of the Philadelphia 76ers, Brian Colangelo, the recent rumors surrounding superstar Kawhi Leonard reportedly seeking a trade from the San Antonio Spurs, potential trade rumors involving our very own New York Knicks, and much, much more. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. This is episode 48 of our podcast known as Knicksfandom. As always, I'm your host, L.A. Blackwell. Hope all the listeners out there are doing great. I'm glad to be joined by my fellow co-host, Flo. How you been doing, Flo?
L.A., I'm great today. How you doing today, brother?
Doing well, Flo. I'm doing well. As always, great to be joined by my fellow host, Danny D. How you doing, Danny D?
I'm good, L.A. What's going on with you, man?
Doing good, man. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a while, listeners. We're going to catch you up on everything that you need to know about. First up, NBA talk. And first things first, we got to discuss the underwhelming 2018 NBA Finals matchup, which recently concluded between the newly crowned Golden State Warriors, who won it back-to-back. I know, no big shock, listeners. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, who ended the series by losing 0-4 in a 4-game sweep to the Warriors. The Warriors have now won 3 out of the last 4 NBA championships. What do you guys think about the NBA Finals? And what stood out most to you regarding this NBA Finals? Starting with you, Danny D.
The NBA Finals was a waste of time. We already knew since last year what was going to happen. Golden State was going to win. And the most important thing is that we had to sit through that and watch that horrible Finals. It was just straight garbage.
Yeah, extended garbage time, man. It's bad when you look to the offseason more than the actual games and NBA Finals. What you think about it, Flo?
Yeah, I agree with D. The NBA Finals was trash. It was a waste of the viewers' time. One of the worst NBA Finals in NBA history.
Yep, pretty much summed that up. But where do you think Golden State Warriors will go from here? Starting with you, Flo.
With the Warriors, LA, one thing about them, they can buy draft picks, especially for second round. Look what they did with Atlanta. They bought a second round draft pick from Atlanta. They drafted Jordan Bell. So with the Warriors, they can get some pieces that can help them out. They definitely got to re-sign Kevin Durant. They have Draymond for 2 more years before they decide what they want to do with him. Klay Thompson, father has already spoken as the mouthpiece for Klay Thompson. Stated that Klay will not even sign a contract extension this year. He'll sign a contract extension next year. So the Warriors have to, make sure they take care of business on the financial side. And if they do that, which we all believe they're capable of doing, they're probably going to be back in the championship picture for the next 2 more years at best. Maybe 3 more years.
Yeah, rich keep getting richer. What you think about Danny D and the Warriors going forward?
Going forward, if they just keep everybody finances in check, if you just keep Draymond, KD, he probably want max money, and Klay Thompson, we just start next year. If you keep the finances intact, they're going to be okay.
Okay. One rumor I heard about, I'm sure you fellas heard about, this one, get your thoughts around it. There was talks about Anthony Davis and possibly trying to reach out and try to trade for him. What do you guys think about that? You think that's a good move, or you just stay pat? Starting with you, Danny D.
You said, did it say any trade, anything like that, to get him for Anthony Davis? Or they're going to say you're going to try to get him in the offseason? How would they try to get him?
Right now, they were talking about a trade. Maybe Thompson, I heard, name getting thrown in there, and try to go with that. What you think about it?
If I'm New Orleans, it would have to be a straight up for KD. I don't want no Klay Thompson. Anthony Davis is, that guy's MVP caliber when healthy. I'm not doing that. And then on the other side for Golden State, why are you trying to fix something that's not broken? You win a championship, you're going back to back. Don't try to rough it. It's not broke, man. I know he's good, but nah, man, you don't shake the box up like that when you win championships.
Yeah, I concur right now. Even as good as Anthony Davis is, it's only one ball to go around, and I don't know, it kind of diminishing return at a certain extent. But you got to look at it. He's one of the new superstars coming up in the next couple of years or so. What you think about it, Flo?
I don't like that trade at all for both teams. Like D mentioned, if you're the Pelicans, the first thing you demand is KD. If not, you hang up. For the Warriors, like D mentioned earlier, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. There's no purpose of you adding Anthony Davis. Now, if they had lost to the Cavs in the finals, then I can see maybe they want to shake things up, but there's really no reason to go after Anthony Davis at all.
Yeah, I got to agree. Let's go back to LeBron James and Cleveland Cavaliers real quick. What do you guys think about how LeBron James played in this series and how this ending ultimately affected his legacy? And also, how much do you put blame on LeBron and the poor showing the Cleveland Cavaliers? Starting with you, D&D.
For LeBron, his legacy, it depends on who you talk to. If you're talking to like great NBA players and things like that, you can say, he took a nobody team to the finals, which he shouldn't have got there, and he did what he had to do. But for fans, they're gonna say, well, he went there 3 times, he only went 3 times, he's horrible. But for me, his legacy is not affected. But I just said how he played in that fourth game, kind of gave up. He didn't give us all. He really didn't want to be focused. And then how much I put blame on LeBron for how they played, I put 100% on LeBron because those are the guys that you wanted there. So, for instance, you have J.R. Smith, shouldn't have been there, but you wanted him to stay there. You gave all that money to Tristan Thompson, horrible, played horrible in the beginning throughout the season. No need to have that somebody else. And then also for coaching-wise, that's the coach that you wanted. You wanted Tyronn Lue. I don't know why. He didn't show me anything that to get there, but that's 100% on LeBron because those are the guys you want to go with. Those are your guys that you handpicked to go.
Yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. I agree. What you think about it, Flo?
LA, LeBron gets 50% of blame. The other 50% goes to Coach Lue. In regards to Coach Lue, number one, he really didn't make any adjustments. You saw a little bit of Rodney Hood, and that's it. Nothing else. Didn't really put any, make any effort of creating any type of defensive game plan to stop the Warriors at all. Regards to LeBron James, yes, he's the best player in the world, but after game one, it looked like he checked out. Reason why I say that because he lost confidence in his teammates. You can't go into the end of game 4 and you're going to the press conference with a brace on your arm saying that you have an issue with you have an issue with with your hand. That doesn't make any sense. I want to hear that from the Cavs medical team, not from LeBron James. It makes him look very weak. Like LA, like you mentioned this before. This is your favorite word. LeBron spit the bit at the end of the day. This is game 4. You gotta go down swinging. You gotta take at least 30 shots in game 4 in the elimination game. Man, he didn't do that at all. He looked like he just mentally checked out. He lost confidence in his teammates. They saw he lost confidence in them after game 1, so it's hard for them to get motivated. So at the end of the day, as a team, they all got swept.
Yeah, totally agree where you're coming from, Flo. And I think we got to look at where this team was going into the finals. Everybody knew they were going to lose. It'll take some monumental task to win that thing. Somebody had to get injured. LeBron had to play out his mind, lights out, everything. A lot of things had to go their way. So it's no shame in losing. And LeBron's going to be Mount Rushmore. We know that's going to be top 3 or 5 when it's over. I say top 3 right now. When it's all over, his career is done. But you got to look at where he was going into this finals and where he ended up. And the way he was playing with Boston, Toronto, you know me. I always get on LeBron with certain things. I expect so much out of him. He has so much talent, so much ability. And he works hard in his game. I give him that. But then I keep hearing the comparisons to the GOAT, Michael Jeffries, Jordan, whichever one you want to call it, top 1, top 2, whatever you want to say. And I just don't see it. This is when he could have separated himself. You didn't have to win the series to put you on that level. But there's one thing I kept thinking of going to this finals. And you know what that number was, fellas? Number 44. You know why I thought of 44? Because of one reason. Jerry West, the one guy who won the MVP on a losing team. That's what he could have went and did. And he didn't do it. He got swept 4-0. You got to do better than that, man. And you keep saying, LeBron's not for he brought these bums to the dance. Like D&D said, you brought these bums to the dance. You wanted to give them the extensions. That was on you. So you can't cry now about this is a team that you won and didn't want and everything of that nature. You wanted to trade Kyrie, it got out, and it backfired on you. So this is what happens. This is the repercussions of that. But you can't come up in the press conference after you get swept, and we didn't see this brace, none of that before that. Now you want to look like Iron Mike Sharp from WWE or WWF back in the day. Look them up, people, and have your little cast on your arm. That's weak. That's very weak. And just to give up like that, I ain't never seen Mike give up. I seen Mike lose. I seen Mike get thrown on the floor against the Pistons. I ain't never seen this give up. And he gave up. You giving people dap before the game is even over in the last one. You had like 4 or 5 minutes sitting on the bench giving people dap. Get out of here on your last game in the Cleveland. Last game they might see you at all in your hometown. And that's how you go out. You go out shooting. You drop 10, 15 shots, whatever. 20 shots, you go out with no bullets left in your gun. And then they gave him a pass. How you going to get a pass when the dude got hurt on your own account? This was not in the game. Had that been J.R. Smith, they'd been all over. He's an idiot. He's a dummy. LeBron's not a rookie. He's a vet. He's been in this 2003. And it's like nobody wants to talk about that injury. It's like, well, he got hurt. He still played. And he played with a broken hand that he gave to himself. That's like you got your own inflicted wound on the battlefield. You shot yourself in the foot. Not supposed to be mad because you can't fight no more. That was your fault. So you get the blame for that. And this team just went down because you went down. You pouting on the bench and all this type of things. Leader doesn't do that. I expected way more out of LeBron. I thought he was going to bring it, drop 40 points, be the MVP of a losing team, of a losing series, and move on. He take a hit from this. You can't be the GOAT doing stuff like this. I'm sorry. You just can't. I ain't never seen Mike do that. What you guys think about that? What do you think about it, Flo?
Whew. LA, you had a lot to say. I have nothing else to comment on.
Oh, snap. Speechless. What you think about Daddy D?
Yeah, because like you say, you have to be the leader. It's like when you're winning, you're running around. You have to be you have to with grace. You take defeat with grace, and you go out there and you give it up your all. You know, that's how you're gonna remember. That's what we're gonna remember. Hand broke, no foot. You gotta play. That's what it is. Those are the hands you did, and you gotta ball out.
Yeah, and it's like everybody waits on J.R. Smith. Okay, I know we didn't get to talk about that. I want to get to it a little bit, but the game was tied. It's not like you had the game won. George Hill should have caught the heat for that. You missed the free throw. J.R. Smith, you got a rebound that you couldn't even have got. You weren't even supposed to get that because KD was out of position. Go ahead, Danny D.
Mm-hmm. No, you're absolutely right. That's what people think. The game. It's not like the people act like they didn't lose the game. You went to overtime. So you telling me you gave all this stuff like that? You had 51. It's overtime. You're like, yo, we wasn't supposed to be in that predicament. Go out. I understand you're frustrated, but you act like JR lost the game. I'm thinking, all right, maybe they lost by 2. I'm like, the game is tied. You go to overtime. Let's work.
Exactly. You spit the bit before the game was over in overtime, and you haven't hurt your hand by that point. The injury happened after that game. So why you couldn't put it together for them last 5 minutes? Oh, I got 51. Yeah. Time to get 57 and get this game out the way. I'm having the best game of my life. Just put it away. I don't get that mentality. It's like I've never seen Mike do that, and I want to keep comparing to Mike. They're 2 different eras, 2 different players. Understand? But when I keep hearing these LeBron fans telling this guy's the GOAT, he's a GOAT, he's a GOAT. You can't say that when you just throwing the bit everywhere like this. I don't see how the superstars do that in this crisis. He's on the bench, and Jeff Green is patting his head. Come on. You supposed to be patting the fella's head. Let's get this. I got 51. Give me the ball and let's go. I don't understand that mentality. Oh, he crying on the bench. Got a timeout, Lou. And he looked distraught like you just told me dog got ran over by a truck. I don't get that. It's game 1 of the NBA Finals, man. And you having a conniption on the bench. You're a leader. I don't understand that at all, man. I don't. Listeners, tell me. What am I missing? What am I missing with that?
Because that's what I want to cut you off. Because, okay, let's say JR missed the shot. You was going to yell at him for missing the shot when it was over. You know what I'm saying? It was tied. Say JR gets the rebound. He misses the shot. You're going to yell at JR for missing the shot and he should have passed you the ball. So I'm like, okay, it's over. Next play.
Let's go. It's tied up. I don't get it. At that point, like I said, JR got a rebound and he dribbled out. Okay, it was a bad move. But it's not like he went straight up. Okay, he got fouled by KD. But there's no guarantee with that. My point being, I don't understand that. And it's like he just get a pass, and it's like nobody talking about George Hill. That's the person you get on. But, hey, that's just me. But I don't know. You tell me, listen, what y'all think in the comment section. But as we go on from there, he's still the best player in the world. I ain't going to take that from him. But, you got to call it how I see it. And now we're going to go on to the real stuff that's going on, and that's the unrestricted free agency of LeBron James again. What do you guys think going to ultimately end up playing next season? And then where you think he should play next season? So on with you, Flo.
LA, LeBron James is only, to me, 2 teams. Cavaliers, Philadelphia 76ers. I tell you right now, if LeBron James go to the Lakers, he is a bum. He's a major bum if he goes to the Lakers. That is a bad fit for him. There'll be so much expectations on him that he has to win a championship in his first season in a Laker uniform. So I don't see that happening. Right now, Cleveland, because he's got a legacy going over there. He's been to 8 straight NBA finals. Stays in the Eastern Conference. He can go to the finals every year. So it's better off for him to come back and re-sign with Cleveland. But for him staying in Cleveland, there'll be a condition where the Cavaliers will probably have to trade the 8th pick for a player. In regards to the 76ers, this is what I believe is going to happen. I think the 76ers, they're going to hire a new GM. Right now, Brent Brown, who is the acting GM right now as we speak. He is the head coach who just got a contract extension. He's the acting GM. What's going to happen if you're the 76ers owner, you go out there and you go get David Griffin, LeBron's former GM in Cleveland, and then you get LeBron James. That's what's going to happen.
Interesting take. I'm not sure I agree with the Lakers think they're going to win this next first year. Because that team is not ready yet. Depending on who else they get in free agency, I think that's going to determine where they think this team should finish. What do you think about it, Danny D?
Yeah, for where you go, it's basically for LeBron, it's going to be more than, when we say when it's more than basketball, it might be more than basketball. It's probably going to go with the family and what's the family position also. You know what I'm saying? He got his son's going to high school, his wife, and what's more comfortable for the family? Do they want to pack up and move? Is his son going to go play in Cleveland? I think he's going to go play in L.A. And what's more comfortable for family? Like he said, for the Lakers, for him, where he should go, you have to go where you're going to get a best fit. Because now what you're saying with the Lakers, you said that you got to wait for Kawhi, you got to wait for Paul George. It's too many intangibles. What can go wrong? And you know what I'm saying? And now when you get all those players, who's going to be on the bench? As opposed to a cap place like Flo said, like Philadelphia, which has enough room, you don't have to move anybody. You could just actually walk into the team and you have a bench and you have the money to actually get him and somebody else. And in Cleveland, I see Cleveland, but you have to clean house. People will have to go. Tristan, JR, all those guys will have to go. For me, my personal fit, I would say with Philadelphia because you have the money and you have the star power to come. But the only thing is, the only problem I have with LeBron going to Philadelphia is I want to see his impact. I don't want him to downplay Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I want him to help them grow, not make them be worse. Make them grow as players.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from as well. A lot with this contract coming up is going to tell you where LeBron's thinking. I feel like LeBron think he got another 5 years in the league. And I think he want to try to play into his son, get in the league if that's the case. And I think it's going to take at least 5 years for that to happen. Looking at it, it depends. If you want to win rings or like Flo said, you worry about your legacy off the court, you want to be a businessman, Magic Johnson connection, all those type of things, yada, yada, yada. Personally, if it was me, I would go to San Antonio. I think the one thing that LeBron has been missing, he's never been coached well. He never had a superior coach. All the great ones have been coached at least one time for the most part from one great coach. From Magic, Kareem, had Pat Riley, you had Jordan with Phil, you know, outside of GM stuff, but for coaching wise, you can't take it away from him. Same thing with Shaq and Kobe. You know, they had the same team. They couldn't win before Phil got there. They started winning afterwards. So he never had that great coach. And I think that's one thing that hurt LeBron. LeBron feel like he's his own coach. And I think with someone like Popovich would bring out the best in him. And I think that's one of the few coaches that you have a respect for, that LeBron spoken openly that he respects. And with him and Kawhi, I think that's like a modern-day Pippen and Jordan. Them guys would be killing the backcourt, doing all type of steals and layups and dunks. If Kawhi is healthy, that's a big if. I would love to see them go to San Antonio. That's the one play I would like to see him go. I don't like him chasing rings like this. If that's the case, I would think you the king, you bring them to your castle. Stop going to everybody else's castle doing this type of thing. And if you go to LA, it's going to be hard to break down that history they got. I mean, they're just known for winning. You're not going to be bigger than what they've won over there. You just can't do that at this point. You ain't got enough time. So to me, to go there, a lot's going to depend on what happened with Kawhi. If you was going there with Paul George, it ain't worth it to me. Because you know me, I don't think Paul George is top 2 player. He just ain't. He a third option, and that's a waste. You're going to get knocked out even earlier by the Warriors. So if that's just all you're going to bring in there was him, maybe Lonzo Ball, Paul George, and LeBron, you might well stay where you're at. And that's what I would do. I think he's going to end up staying another year. and re-sign with Cleveland if he doesn't get this Kawhi going over there. It makes no sense to go there. I thought about Philly. That's why I've been feeling like he would be a good fit, like you stated, Danny D. Him and Ben Simmons does the same thing. They both need a ball in their hand. And you take the ball out of Ben Simmons' hand, you're going to drastically hurt this guy. He's not a shooter. And LeBron loves shooters on his side. So to me, LeBron's not going to give the ball to him, not like he's supposed to, and let Ben Simmons regulate this offense, which is what he needs to do. He's been averaging triple-double the last 16 games almost. So to me, I think you're wasting Ben Simmons' talent with LeBron on there, because LeBron's not a pure shooter either. So if they both not using their strengths, it's kind of diminish each other. Unless LeBron really going to be that mentor to him, and I just don't know where LeBron's going to go with that. I don't know what he really wants. And that's why I said where he go this offseason will tell you where his mind is at, looking at that. So he might just re-sign for 1 year and scope the landscape after that. Or, if Kawhi get moved first and goes to the Lakers, maybe he might go there. But I would try to hook my wagon to Kawhi if he's healthy and Pop in San Antonio. I really would. That's what I think would be a best fit. And I think that'd be a good look. It won't look so bad. You chasing championship. It will look like you really, this is what I'm about. And you need help. And when you're going against all them people the Warriors got, nobody can blame you for that. I don't blame you when not want to get knocked out 4 in a row. That's not fun to keep going there and then losing. But it's the way you're going about it. I think that's the whole issue to me at this point. But looking at that going forward, I just want to see what else do you guys think about the NBA Finals before you put that to bed, and the NBA playoffs overall that we didn't get discussed since we was off the air a couple weeks ago. What do you think about that in the end of the off season, end of the past season NBA Finals, guys? Starting with you, Danny D.
No, I think basically the NBA playoffs as a whole was pretty good until we got to the finals because you had a lot of Game 7s. It was very exciting. This unfortunate Chris Paul couldn't play in the Game 6 and Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals, probably the real NBA Finals. And it was exciting. Hopefully next year, depending on where all these players can go, we can have a more exciting regular season and more impactful NBA Finals in next year.
Yeah, very disappointing from where it started to how it ended. What you think about it, Flo?
Yeah, LA with the NBA Finals, it was horrible. The NBA playoffs was a great playoff season. I enjoyed watching the playoffs. It's just the finals itself was just terrible. Hopefully, we'll get a great off season where there'll be some movement, either on draft day trades with stars or stars leaving to go to other teams.
Yeah, I was just disappointed. I really wanted to see Chris Paul make an attempt to play. Like I said in that last episode, I really thought he would. He must have been way more hurt than we thought. And he was in torture sitting on that bench, man. It was hard watching that. I felt bad for him in that respect. And I wonder if LeBron going to try to hitch his wagon to Chris Paul and they're going to try to make that move to L.A. if it doesn't work out for Houston. But I just don't think that's enough. Even if you put Chris Paul, Jordan, LeBron, that ain't enough to beat the Warriors, man. And I don't know if LeBron going to go to Houston, how well that's going to work either, because you're going to have to give up so much to get him. I mean, if you got to give a Capella, I'm not doing that. I think you need him and LeBron to make that team get that push. I really do. So I don't know how they're going to make that work. If he end up in Houston, that's maybe the second best look talent-wise. But I just don't know. What you got to think about that if he end up in Houston? It's on with you, Flo.
I think for him to end up in Houston, I think you're Cleveland. You got to do a sign and trade. So LeBron goes to Cleveland, James Harden. That's the only way that's going to make that happen. I can't see James Harden, LeBron, and Chris Paul on the same team. It's not going to work out. All three guys, three egos, one basketball. Harden is the odd man out. He's got to go.
Well, no way I'm doing that deal then. I need all three. If you ain't keeping all three, it ain't worth it. You're not winning that with this then. What you think about that, AD?
Nah, it's going to be hard because even with the three, because now you got to think about it, like it's hard because it took a while for Chris Paul and James Harden to play on the court together. It took a while to the end of the season they got it together. And now you got to think about it too, because now the offseason, you got people like Trevor Ariza who played hard. He played like garbage in Game 7. This guy said he's seeking $40 to $60 million deal. I said, for what?
Oh, yeah, we didn't get into that. Oh, he shot himself in the foot, man.
I said, for what? 40 to 60, what, $1 million? Pesos, maybe. Not million.
Oh, man. Yeah, a lot of people cost themselves money this offseason, man. A lot of people did. Now, I expected more out of them. Really did. They came up weak in that one. I mean, you seen the guys try, and Harden did the same thing. He didn't do what we expect him to do. And can we put this to rest? He's not a number one guy. He's just not. You know what I'm saying? It's like, put that to rest. He's not number one guy. Paul George's not number one guy. They need somebody else with him. Any team you put with just those guys you put in on number one, you're going to lose the championship unless you have serious injury on the other side. Because he just shot threes. He didn't drive the ball like you wanted him to. And he wasn't putting the press on him. There was one game they needed you to step up. Chris Paul wasn't there. It came through you. And you came up weak and soft again. Not as bad as the previous year, but not how a number one guy supposed to do. And he just ain't got it in him. I'm just going to put it out there. He just ain't got it in him. And that's just it to me. I mean, y'all can disagree if you think, but I just don't see it. And that's what
LA.
Go ahead, Flo.
Let me add to that, because you're exactly right. I don't know what idiots really believe that James Harden's number one option. Do people really watch basketball? Let's go back. Let's do it. Let's rewind a little bit. Let's go back. James Harden played the OKC. He was a third option. What happened? He got to the finals. So we all know he's a third option. He's not a number one option. He's not a number two option. So I don't know why NBA fans really believe he's a number one, number two option. Just go back to the tape. The tape is the proof right there. He's a number three option on the championship team. He's not a number one, number two. So I don't know why all these people, so-called basketball experts, really believe he's a number one, number two option. He never was.
I give him a number two on a really good team. Like, if you put LeBron and him in there, I think he's a number two because Chris Paul is older, but he's more clutch. So I still let him do the clutch stuff. But he can take a load off teams. But his offense is just way too sporadic, man. He's not a consistent enough three-point shooter to be a number one option. He just ain't. He's gotten way better than he was in OKC. But like you said, in OKC, that's the best he played in me. And clutch-wise, and I think because he was the third option. People don't realize that. When you play the role you're supposed to play, I even saw with Scottie Pippen, he was not a number one. Once Mike was gone, he still put up numbers. He still wasn't Mike. Guys is just not number one. He was the best number two I've seen out there. And guys play best when they're in that role. That's just how it is. There's no shame in that, you know. Still a great player, but you can't build your team around these guys and then wonder why you keep coming up short. You just can't. But you know, like I said, to me, the NBA playoffs was good. You know, you had nice games, you had some memorable moments, but the endings for the Western Conference and Eastern Conference was, you know, a letdown to me. Didn't end up like I thought it would. The Boston final game was not a great one in the series. Same thing with Houston because of CP3 injury. I really wish he was healthy to see what Golden State really would have did, because I thought they might have lost. But, you know, now we'll never know. The finals, like we said earlier, was Unga Bar's time. But we'll see what happens next season because a lot of things going on in the off season. And that just brings us up other NBA news, fellas, I want to talk about real quick. Briefly, guys, what was your thoughts regarding Twittergate and the recent resignation of Philadelphia 76ers former general manager Brian Colangelo that came out about after several Twitter accounts were proven to be linked to the white barber who reportedly leaked sensitive information related to the 76ers and the NBA as a whole? I know you got a lot to say about this, Flo. The floor is yours.
Man, oh man. Finally, we've been talking about this. I've been saying this from day one, season one, Knicksfandom. I've been saying Brian Colangelo is a bum. I've been saying this. Finally, Philadelphia did the right thing, got rid of this guy. He deserved to be fired. He's an embarrassment to the Colangelo name. You know, his father is a great basketball mind. But this guy is the worst out of all people, the worst. This is not loving basketball. You don't let your wife take the rap. Be a man. Hold yourself accountable, man. Come on, man. That's a sucker move to let your wife take the blame for this. Come on, man. Shame on you, man. Horrible job in Philadelphia. Horrible job in Philadelphia. He's done a horrible job. And then now you got reports coming out that you had people in the organization telling him, do not draft Markelle Fultz. Let's get Jason Tatum. And you overruled them and said, no. Come on, man. This guy deserves to be fired. This guy should be blackballed from the NBA. He's got no business running an NBA team whatsoever. What is this? Embarrassment. Disgusting. Good riddance. Finally, see ya.
You know you set up one of them Twitter accounts, Flo. Don't tell me he wasn't there with Barbara doing that. Tell us how you really feel, Flo. All right, D, what's your thoughts on this and Twittergate?
Yeah, Twittergate, man. Listen, allegedly or not allegedly, man. Listen, Colangelo, he did that. You know what I'm saying? That's the real MVP is the wife. You know that it's his wife. You know, allegedly, I don't know what's going on. She's the real MVP. You know, because she's taking a rap for this. Because to leak information. So you telling me? And matter of fact, man, that's a good wife because she's so intact with basketball that she knows all this stuff. That's what wife know basketball so well like that, man? To say the no players, the no draft picks, and say like that and tweet precisely what's going on in the organization, man. She's really the MVP. Matter of fact, they should do it so worse that they need to hire her. I think she needs to get hired. But that's just my thought on it.
D, if they hired her, she'll do a better job than him.
Oh man. But I knew it was allegedly she was on to this because it was bad information. So it's like they watched just enough and they gave misinformation. So it's like they were saying things that didn't even happen. It's like, who gave this Twitter stuff? This ain't how it happened. That injury wasn't real. So it's like you hear bits and pieces. Yeah. Well, I hear where y'all coming from. You know what? This is just chickens coming home to roost, and I'm gonna put it out there like it really is. Because at the end of the day, you know who I blame? I don't blame Barbara. I don't blame Brian Colangelo. You know who I blame? I blame the NBA. Because you did this. You the one that talked in their ear and made Philadelphia make that move. You couldn't stand Sam Hinkie had the idea and said trust the process. You were disgusted by what he found the loophole in this system, found the only way you could win is getting enough chances at the top picks and hope sooner or later you get at least 2 or 3 that work out. And that's what happened. He built this team. He had a way to go about it. He didn't want to keep losing and giving these teams pieces all day and realize this is the only way I can go. These free agents don't want to come here. These teams not lining up to come to Philadelphia. So I can only lose and get the top talent because when you look at the teams that make it to the NBA Finals, they're always the top draft picks. LeBron, KD, all these guys. Steph Curry and them, you lucked out with that. But for the most part, it's always the top picks. The MJs, Hakeem Olajuwons, you can go down the list. So that's what he went and did, and he did within the rules. And the NBA couldn't stand it. So they put the pressure on Philadelphia and made him get rid of Sam Hinkie before they wanted to, and he resigned. And then you let Colangelo take over. So chickens came home roost, and now you got egg on your face. And that's just the way it is. That's the bottom line. So I'm happy for saying Hinkie. I know he's laughing and smiling like the Joker. And I know he feels good about that part. And at the end of the day, he got his just desserts with that. But Brian Colangelo, you got a job you shouldn't have got to me. Should have still been Sam Hinkie job. But, this is what happened.
Thank you.
And this is where we go. Go ahead, Flo.
No, thank you. Thank you. He should have never been fired at all. Sam Hinkie should have never been fired.
No, you don't put pressure on the team. This is the rules that you establish, and you know these teams can't compete with these big markets. You've seen the Lakers coming out of the doldrums, and still people want to go there, even though they got nothing there. And these teams are leaving organizations that have done it well, for the most part, like San Antonio, all these teams, and they still can't keep people. That's the problem. So Sam Hinkie did the best he could, and it's working out for him, and now Philadelphia is one of your up-and-coming team. But he don't get no credit for that. They pushing it to the backside like he did nothing. So to me, I thought he got a raw deal, and it wasn't right how they made him leave like that. But that's just me. But that's pretty much it for Twitter game. Recently, Chris Haynes of ESPN recently tweeted that superstar Kawhi Leonard of the San Antonio Spurs reportedly wants out of San Antonio, lead sources told ESPN. What do your guys thought about this rumor? Starting with you, Danny D.
Kawhi wants out. So I don't know if how me and Flo were talking about it in U2 LA. I don't know as much as Kawhi wants out. What him and his uncle, does his uncle want out, or does Kawhi really want out? Does he really want to be a big star, Spurs and things like that? So the thing is, so now we have to go to the fellas. Is it he's mad at the organization for the so-called seeing other doctors about his so-called injury, or he's just using that as an excuse for leaving? Because, like I heard Stephen A. Smith saying that if you want to leave, don't put up no excuse. Just say you want to leave. You just don't want to stay in San Antonio no more. You don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. You just want the big lights of LA, But my thing is now, what does that say about him? Are you saying now, guys, are we saying that he's not a good player to lead a team in the Spurs now that he wants to leave? Or now are we saying that he wants to change? Because my thing is, the only reason you're going to LA is for what? Is you want the fame and things like that. You don't care about the money. Because LA, they got the 5-year $219. You're just going to leave that money out there just like that?
Yeah, that's a lot of money to leave out there, man. I got something to say about that, too, as we go further into this topic. I hear where you're coming from, Danny D. What you think about it, Flo?
D, we talked about this before. I don't think any of us is surprised about him wanting out of San Antonio. If you're the Spurs, you got to seriously think about rebuilding now. The Spurs legacy is is out there. It's done. They won rings with Parker, Ginobili, Robinson, and Kawhi. Let's move on from now. It's time to move on. Time to start. It's really time for them to start to rebuild. It really is. Kawhi wants out. You got to respect his wishes in terms of him leaving. You don't have to trade him to the Lakers. You can trade him somewhere else. And preferably, I hope that they trade him in the East Coast, where you only face him twice a year, as opposed to you trade him to the Lakers. You're going to play him 5 times a year. So, to me, if you're the San Antonio Spurs, the best thing you should do, trade him to a mystery team like the Brooklyn Nets. That's the smartest thing to do if you're the Spurs. You already have a connection with the GM Sean Marks. That's the smartest thing the Spurs could do. Trade him to the East Coast team. You trade him to Boston, it's like, I don't know if Danny Ainge, if he wants to go for broke and try to win a chip next season by pulling the trigger and getting Kawhi, but I really don't know if there's a need for Kawhi. That's the only thing. When you look at Boston, you had 2 players that was out the entire postseason, which is Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward. So,
but if you trade him Brooklyn, what are you going to trade him for?
Honestly, I haven't decided that yet of how would I make that deal work. I really haven't done the numbers, but only reason why I put it out there as Brooklyn is that I just think they have a good relationship with the GM there, Sean Marks. If you're Brooklyn, I think you just have to you have to make the numbers work. So definitely you're gonna probably be forced to put D'Angelo Russell in the trade. That's number one. I think you have to. But I haven't really sat down and worked out the numbers yet.
For my uncle. I keep thinking about it. I keep him with Kawhi Leonard and the uncle situation. It's a bad look at the end of the day because honestly, I think this team need to be kept together. I mean, you would think after all the years they done put together, they won a championship together. Kawhi got Finals MVP with the Spurs. Popovich brought the best out of him. He brought the best out of Popovich. I mean, this is a bad way to end this marriage, so, quote unquote. And to me, $219 million, to leave that on the table, I mean, it hasn't been put out there. And I think that's the problem with the Spurs. The Spurs need to jump out there and take the narrative, take control of this narrative. Either Kawhi's your man or he ain't. And this all been in between. I don't know what Kawhi representatives said, Pop saying, this is a bad job for Pop. And I'm a big Pop fan. Y'all know that. But you got to jump in front of this at this point and say, yo, Kawhi's my guy. I mean, I think that's the thing that hurt Cleveland with Kyrie Irving. Kyrie felt like they was going with LeBron over Kyrie. And you have nothing left if Kawhi leaves. Nobody wants to come here. And me trading for just Brandon Ingram and Kuzma, that ain't going to get it. I'm not helping force that over. Guess what, Kawhi, you going to stay that last year then. Because it makes no sense. I'm not getting nothing for this. And I'm not going to help another team that's going to just beat my brains in for the next 2-3 years. I'm not doing that. I'd rather just start totally fresh. I know you're not getting nothing for it, but fine. If that's all I'm going to get, or a Lonzo Ball. That's a shame. I think LeVar Ball before I think of Lonzo. Lonzo Ball and Kuzma or whatever for that deal. That's all I'm going to get for Kawhi's an MVP. 2-time, defensive player of the year 2 times, all NBA 2 times. This is the best I can get. Nah, we're going to have to make this work. Same way you did with Marcus Aldridge, you got to do some work, Pop. And tell this guy is your guy, get him healthy, and go from there. I'm not trading nickels on dollars, man. I'm not doing that. This is a waste. And as for Kawhi, I don't know why you want to go there. You want to go to L.A. Kawhi doesn't talk. I don't know why you want to go to L.A. when you don't talk and don't be in the press and all that. Why would you want to go in L.A.? L.A. is about the talking about the Magic Johnson smile. It's about people with Kobe Bryant, Shaq is spin on his head. That's what people want. I don't know why you think it'll be a good fit in L.A. In New York either. If you the main star, I don't know why you want to go there. All I see with Randy Johnson, he came to New York Yankees. Different sport, I understand that, but you knew from day one he was a bad fit. And if you can't handle San Antonio, I don't know how you're going to handle New York media just being the number 1 star here. Now, if you got KP with you here, he could take some of the load off you. I get it. If you got LeBron in LA with you, I could get it. But I don't see how you're going to get his money back. The most he can get going to another team is $183 million, fellas. That's it. That's it if he do the trade. And if he signs out straight, that's $140 million. From $219 to $140 million, you're not making that back in endorsements. You're not that type of guy. I'm sorry, Kawhi. I think you're a great player, a superstar, but you don't have that type of cachet. So you're going to give away $36 million if they trade you from 219 to 183. That's it. $36 million is going to give away. You think you're going to make that endorsements? I get it. You don't like how they handle your injuries and all that. Fine. You can get over that. And 219 will help me get over that. But I don't see why I'm going to take that cut just to go to this team when I think it'd be better if I could bring LeBron where I'm at. I just don't think he's a great fit over there. I don't get it. What you guys want to add to that with you, Flo?
Now, LA, you're right about that. You hit on the head earlier. If you're Kawhi, he doesn't fit in LA. You're right. So he's better off recruiting LeBron James to come to San Antonio. I agree with that scenario. That would be smart for both parties. And I say both parties, I'm referring to Kawhi and LeBron. That would be great. LeBron will finally get a great coach. Kawhi can repair his relationship with Pop. That would be great. But I definitely cannot see Kawhi going to Lakers. It doesn't make any sense. I get it. He's from California. Get that. But like you said, LA, he doesn't speak. So how does he fit over there? That's the reason why the only team I can think of really, if he ever gets traded, would be Brooklyn. Because even though he's becoming in New York, Brooklyn is considered like the second fiddle to the Knicks. So he'll probably fit in Brooklyn as opposed to New York. Other than that, he should just repair his relationship with San Antonio.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. This free agency stuff has really changed the league. It's like contracts mean nothing at this point. If a guy want to go, they going. And that's just how it is. What do you think about Danny D and that situation I just brought up?
Because that's like I said, it's not when someone's talking to Kawhi, it's probably a lot of more factors. It's Kawhi, his uncle, it's everything like that, and it's probably when you think about the money. All right, he's saying 219, 140 is 36 million. Now it's millions and millions. He's probably saying, I got the money already. I'm a millionaire, right? So now you're thinking about what I'm going to do off the court. He doesn't talk within the branding. It's more, I guess, more of a brand in LA. You can brand your image and things like that, as opposed to being in San Antonio.
Yeah, but if you go to LA, right, and let's say it's just him, that team ain't winning. You ain't winning with Kawhi and whatever they got there with Lonzo Ball and Ingram or whatever. If you just signed in and LeBron or Paul George doesn't foul you, and if LeBron and Paul George did, they're gonna take all the exposure anyway. So now you're gonna be like that guy that's kind of like the second best on that team. I mean, I just don't know where you're going with that. I don't see how you're going to get that. And I don't know how LeBron and Kawhi, they really good friends like that and how that would work either. So I don't know. It's just a weird situation to me. But, y'all listen to tell what y'all think with that. I'm not even part of it. It's exasperating to me, man. So I don't know. But we'll see what happens. It makes the offseason very interesting, as always. Anything else y'all want to add, discuss regarding NBA talk, guys, before we move on to the next topic? Danny D?
Yeah,
or Flo? Go ahead, Flo.
3 things. Number 1, let me put this trade proposal out there. Cleveland Cavaliers trade Kevin Love, Tristan Thompson, and Cedi Osman to the Portland Trailblazers for Maurice Harkless, Al-Farouq Amini, and C.J. McCollum. Gentlemen, what's your take on this?
Is LeBron staying or going, though? That's what LeBron, or does it even matter?
If you're Cleveland, you're doing this trade, convincing LeBron to come to resign.
Okay, all right, I get you. What you think about Danny D?
How does the money work out? I'll be glad if I might take that if LeBron's to stay to get CJ. CJ can ball out and get rid of Tristan Thompson, and get rid of that contract.
Yeah, the money works. I tried on the NBA machine. The money works.
Okay.
You gotta try something. I agree with it because you gotta try something new, man, because it ain't working.
Yeah, I agree with you, Danny D. I think it's good for both teams in that. I think the Kevin Love thing has passed. I think it didn't work out like they thought it would. He's kind of declined every year he's been here to me. It doesn't look like the same player in Minnesota. That could be the LeBron effect, which I think it is. But I just want to move on. I want to get away from Kevin Love at this point if I'm Cleveland. And same thing with Thompson. Go on, do your Kardashian stuff and go on somewhere else. I'm tired of that too. As for C.J. McCollum, like I told you, I don't like their backcourt with Portland. And I think one of them got to go. Either Lillard or McCollum, they got destroyed in the playoffs. And this is just not going to work when it comes to playoffs. It's a regular season team, and it's time to move on. If I'm Portland, I don't know. You hoping Kevin Love gets back somewhere he got in Minnesota. I'm more inclined to do this for Cleveland. Portland, I think I would shop around a little more and see if I could give him McCollum. I think he's a good player, and I think I could get a little more than Kevin Love. I would shop around first, but because I'm not a Hugh Thompson fan either, but I could see why they would want to do that. And I think him and Lillard would be a nice fit. I can see that working out better. You see Love getting the post like he used to do, and pick and roll situation would help, but I would definitely seek another player before I go this route. What about you, Flo? What you think about it?
I think it's a great trade for both teams. In regards to Cleveland, you got McCollum, you slide him right next to LeBron James. That's great. You got a second option. In regards to Portland, for you getting Kevin Love, you can go back to what you want to do. You want to run the pick and roll early, throughout LaMarcus Aldridge's career when he was playing with Portland. You had him doing pick and pop with Dame Dollar. So now you can bring that back. Love, Dame Dollar, pick and pop. Love can also go back in the post, like you said, LA, like his days in Minnesota when he was like a top 4 pick in this league. Bang in the post, get some baskets, open up his outside shooting. Tristan Thompson, he needs to change the scenery. Seems like he's too distracted, with his personal life, with him, with his girlfriend and, giving birth, et cetera, et cetera. I think he needs to change the scenery.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. You have other topics for NBA talk there, Flo?
Yes, I do. 2 more things. I don't know if you guys were aware of, but last month, Paul George had arthroscopic knee surgery on his left knee. So I just want to wish him a speedy recovery. That's all in regards to Paul George. So wish him all the best. It might affect his free agency standing because I'm pretty sure teams would want to know if he's 100% healthy. So
I guess what's your take on this? That raggedy jump shot he had in the playoffs too. That's what I'm guessing. This guy always come up small, man. I just don't see the love affair of Paul George no more. I just don't. To me, you want to get him max? I wouldn't. I don't want him. But I can see why other teams want him. He's a 3-and-D player. But like I said, he's a third best option. I don't like getting max money to dudes as third option. And like you say, he got injury issues. He came back from that horrific injury, so I give more respect for that. But if I'm a Knicks fan, I don't want him. I keep hearing some people bringing him to the Knicks. So you keep him. I don't want him. So, we'll see what happens, though. I don't think he's going to go back to OKC. I still feel he's going to L.A., but you never know. You never know with these players. What you think about Dandy?
That's true. Let's see who's going to LA. But yeah, we'll see how it goes and see what kind of fit and what relationship he had with him and Russell Westbrook and what he wants to do, tell Russell's business, and let's see where he goes.
Anything else you want to add with that, Flo?
Nah. In regards to Paul George, no. I'm just going to wait and see. I want to wait and see and play it out. It looked like he's going to leave OKC. That's just my opinion. And that's going to be a bad job by Sam Presti because originally you lost Durant. You replaced Durant with Victor Oladipo, and then you move Victor Oladipo for Paul George. And then at the end of the day, Paul George walks. You got nothing in return replacing KD or Oladipo. So just a bad trade for Sam Presti overall. LA, you hit it on the head. So I'm going to give you props for that because you were talking about Victor Oladipo. I told you Oladipo was a good player. I didn't know he was this good. That I didn't know. I didn't know he was this good. But he this was his breakout year. I have a lot of respect for Victor Oladipo. Very good NBA ball player. I thought he was a good defensive player coming out of Indiana. So definitely, he's definitely an emerging player. One more thing, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
One more thing. Here's the thing. LAU was asking me about this, so I'm gonna put this out there once and for all. There was some fans that was they realized his Melo's birthday had passed, and they were comparing Carmelo Anthony to Kyle Korver. And one NBA fan claimed that Kyle Korver is a better ball player than Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony saw that on Instagram, and he responded with FOH. Gentlemen, what's your take? Who's a better ball player?
I saw that. It made me laugh. Melo always get caught up in some stuff like that. It's like he worried about the outside stuff too much sometimes. Kyle Korver is a much better shooter than Melo. No doubt about that. Numbers would show that. But overall ball players, no doubt. Melo's a better player. Melo just came up short when you needed him most, and he didn't live up to what you thought he was going to be, especially you put him in that same draft with Wade and LeBron. That's what made Melo's career look bad. And the biggest thing was he went to the wrong team. That's what the big thing was. He went to Detroit instead of Darko Milicic. His career would have had a whole different scope. That changed the whole outline of his career. He'd have got him a chip that next year. Because Darko got one. You can't tell Melo would have did a better job than Darko did. So, to me, going to Denver was a bad move from jump, and it put him on the wrong path. And that just hurt him. And then he made a trade to the Knicks, which we all hated at the time, because it's like, just wait. You could have waited the end of that season. You had a nice team to go to, but they broke it up early. And he lost pieces that could have helped you actually win. So he's always done that and went to teams at the wrong time and pushed for trades when it wasn't a need to push for it, and just didn't get on that right team, had that right mindset. He never got better defensively. He never stayed in the same shape of LeBron and all that. So I just think those things are always going to hurt his legacy to me. What you think about Danny D?
Yeah, because then you got to think about it too. He was beginning. He didn't want to wait when he made that trade. He was money hungry because they was waiting for the CBA deal and what was going on. He was like, "Oh, I gotta get my money quick." If you'd have waited, it would have been a different narrative, and the same thing coming out of there. But that's what it comes to. You want to be a ball player, or you're money hungry, and it comes out, and sometimes it bites you at the end. You have to hindsight to see what happened.
Yeah, I never thought he put winning first, and it showed in his career. He never did to me. What you thought about it, Flo?
LA, both of you guys actually hit on the head. Kyle Korver's a better shooter. Carmelo Anthony is a better ball player. I think Carmelo Anthony will be in the Hall of Fame. He just won't get in on the first or second ballot. He'll probably get in on the third, fourth, or fifth ballot. That's when he'll get in. He's a bona fide Hall of Famer. Thing with Melo, like both of you gentlemen said, Melo put so much pressure on Denver to get out of Denver. There was already a deal on the table for him going to the Brooklyn Nets. But he was like, no, I'm not playing for Brooklyn. It's a waste of time. I want to be traded to the Knicks. And then, lo and behold, our owner, James Dolan, got involved and made the deal. So it's tough for Melo because, again, like both of you gentlemen mentioned earlier, he just seemed like he got traded at the wrong time. He got drafted by the wrong team. Should have been drafted by Detroit. And, that's probably the one big mistake Joe Dumars has made as GM, not drafting Melo. That's really hurt him overall, both Dumars and with Melo. I think Melo would have been playing on the dynasty in Detroit. He would have won a lot of rings under Coach Larry Brown with Tayshaun Prince and Rasheed Wallace and Chauncey Billups and Richard Hamilton. It's unfortunate. Really is. Really unfortunate.
Yeah, a lot of times it comes down not to just where you drafted, but to who. And that really affects these players down the road, even the pros. And that thing happened because Jane didn't like how the negotiating process went with LeBron. LeBron really didn't take the Knicks serious when they actually had the cap space to go after him, and he really didn't want that same thing happen to Melo. And, that set them both on a path that didn't work out for neither one of them, Melo or the Knicks. And, it's tough, but that's sports for you, man. That's sports. That's pretty much that's it for NBA Talk. Much appreciated, guys. I want to quickly jump into the Knicks Weekly Round-Up, and that'll be our next segment, fellas. Okay, fellas, that brings us to our Knicks Weekly Roundup. Not a lot going on with the Knicks, but one trade rumor I heard about, and I know we're on the cusp of the draft and everything, so I just wanted to talk about what you guys thought about this deal. Plus, we also talked about Kawhi Leonard earlier, and just see what you guys thought about it. I had read somewhere about the Knicks potentially trading Kristaps Porzingis, their 2018 first-round pick, their 37th round pick via the Chicago Bulls, maybe Frank Nitilikina, and Lance Thomas for Kawhi Leonard. Not hearing any other pieces with that. If you're the Knicks GM, Scott Perry, would you make this deal, fellas? What you think about it, Flo?
LA, we talked about this before. No, I'm not trading Porzingis for Kawhi Leonard. We talked about this before in a previous episode. I think we all agreed upon that we would have to use either Enes Kanter or Tim Hardaway Jr. in a deal. It can't be Porzingis.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to get it done without him. What do you think about Danny D?
Now, who else? It was going to be KP and who else?
KP, the 37th round pick via the Bulls, the first round pick that they had the 9th pick overall, Frank Nitilikina and Lance Thomas for Kawhi?
Nah, I'm not doing all that. Nah, that's a no-go. Not for KP.
Even if Kawhi's healthy, fellas, and he's come back to MVP form, would you do it then?
To me, it's still too much.
Yeah, I gotta agree with y'all. I thought about it because Kawhi's not a player you see every day. I get it, but even if you got Kawhi, you got nothing left. And it's like the cupboard is bare after that. I mean, you have to go through another losing team, another losing season. Yeah, you got cap space now, and you're hoping teams gonna come there because you got Kawhi. I get it, but I don't know. I guess I just feel like first round pick and KP is kind of worth more than that is right now. And I don't know if Kawhi is gonna be 100% healthy. You know, that's the tough part about it. And it's tough, man. I can see why you want to do that. But once again, I don't know how well Kawhi would go here with just him. That's a lot of pressure put on with this team, and you gave up KP, who's a fan favorite, to get Kawhi, who might have injury issues going forward. Fans may not like that. I don't know how he's going to do well with just the media and not talking sometimes and that issue. And nobody else here to take the pressure off him. You know, you gave up Frank, you gave up this year and KP. It's a lot, man. And to me, I got a new way I think you really got to build these teams now. And I just want to get y'all guys' thought on that real quick. I'm looking at these teams. It seems like you got to get maybe at least 2 or 3 of your own guys for cheap, kind of like how Golden State did with a Curry, Draymond, and Thompson, and then go after the big pieces. Because just cap-wise, you can't go after the big pieces and don't have nothing there that's smaller, cheaper players that's going to balance that out. And the Knicks try that with Frank, but you need, and KP, but you need one more home run. That guy that's going to be that second player on your team, and then go after the franchise people. And with this team the way it is, I think you're closer to going that route with KP than you are with Kawhi and not having nothing left. I mean, I know they're going to be bad again next year, and you're probably going to get back in the lottery, but you're giving up a lot. And I just don't know where you go from there. Anything you want to add to that, fellas?
Yes, LA.
Go ahead, Flo.
Yeah, I got a trade proposal real quick here. So it's going to be Courtney Lee and Lance Thomas to the Utah Jazz for Alex Burks, shooting guard, Jay Crowder, and a second-round pick. What's your take on this, gentlemen? Would you do this deal?
Who's the other person we getting from Burks, and who's the other person from Utah?
Jay Crowder, small forward Jay Crowder.
That's a push. I don't like neither one. You know, I don't like Lance Thomas no more. Courtney Lee, I don't have no beef, but the best thing I like in that is the pick. I don't like Crowder. I don't think he's going to do much. And Burks, I thought he was going to be better than he ended up being. He's kind of a disappointment to me. What you think about Danny D?
Yeah, about to get rid of Lance and things like that. It's doable. It's not a bad. It's not that bad because Lance is. I think Jay Crowder is a better player than Lance Thomas, and then also you get the pick. So I could see us doing that. How
many more years is on Burks and on Crowder contract though? That's a big thing to me.
Alex Burks will have 1 year and $10.8 million left on his contract come July 1st. And Jay Crowder will have 2 years and $6.8 million left on his contract.
I would do it for that. If I could get out of that contract earlier, and you know me, I'm always hoping to 2020. I'm waiting for 2 years from that. That's the thing I'm looking for. Get as much cap space as possible and make your moves. So if I can get out their contracts earlier, then fine. I'll do it for that. If I can't, then I'm not doing it. What you think about Flo?
I think it's a great trade for both teams. The reason why I like this trade for Utah, you're getting 2 veterans. Since you're already in the playoffs, you got past the first round, so you need some more veteran pieces on that team. So I think Courtney Lee and Lance Thomas would be a great fit. In regards to the Knicks, you're getting an expiring contract back in Alex Burke, so I'm definitely doing this deal. You're getting a second-round pick, and then you're getting Jay Crowder for 2 years at least on a cheap deal. And you can plug him in your starting lineup as a small forward. So I love this deal. I love this deal for both teams.
Okay, make it happen, people. Not bad at all. All right, much appreciated, Flo. And that pretty much brings us to the end of today's show. Any closing remarks for the day, fellas? Starting with you, Flo.
LA, one more thing I wanted to mention before we close out. I'm looking at 2-3 players I love the Knicks to go after via free agency on a cheap deal. First, Nerlens Noel, center. Also, Will Burton, shooting guard, off the bench from Denver. Last but not least, I'm looking at a particular small forward on a real cheap deal and that's Jeremy Grant. I think he'll be a great fit with the Knicks. So those are 3 players I love the Knicks to go after via free agency. It all depending on if whether Cantor apps out his contract and also Kyle O'Quinn outside of his contract. So if those 2 players can opt out, I'll definitely like to go after these 3 players for the Knicks. Other than that, gentlemen, I love being part of this great show. Knicksfandom, I want to thank you. I want to thank all the listeners being part of this great show. This is the #1 independent basketball podcast in the world. Definitely, we're all over on YouTube, Spreaker, iTunes. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Flo. Not bad free agent pickups. I like them potential-wise. I can see that. High chance of upgrade and low chance budget-wise. So it's not bad moves. What you thought about Danny D real quick?
It's all right.
Okay. Your listener can let us know what you think as well in the comment section. What about closing remarks for you, Danny D? What you got for the listeners?
I want to thank the fans, listeners. Keep on subscribing. Keep on spreading the love. And appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Much appreciated, guys. Always great show. Couldn't do it without y'all because it's true. Thank you, listeners. Continue to subscribe on YouTube, Spreaker, iTunes. Let the people know. People that would like this show. Thanks. Please leave a positive review when you get a chance on iTunes. It definitely helps the show grow. And lastly, please tell a friend and keep it moving, guys. We got a lot to talk about. Stay tuned for our draft show that's coming up. It's going to be something to listen to. Thanks again, listeners. See ya.